Hello? My word, are you alright? Well, yes, you're in my home, but you seem a bit under the weather. Oh, I'm so sorry. I know these things are very difficult for people of your kind to understand, but I am not like other people. I've encountered many a mystical creature before, and you do not scare me. So if you've come here to frighten me, I am very aware that you are in fact an intelligent creature, or perhaps three creatures in one, as I see now. But you are an intelligent creature and you're not really going to do anything to me. So I ask again, are you hurt? Are you alright? Okay. You're a bit tired. And you heard that you can stay here. Pray tell, who told you that? I'm just interested because, it's not like I would particularly be offended by the proclamation that you can come and rest your weary head or weary heads here. But, if you're going to stay here for a little bit, I need to put you to work, but I also need to make sure that you are alright. So I would like to take care of you if that's alright. Plus, besides, I don't think I've met a creature of your kind before. What are you? A chimera. That's very interesting. I don't think I've heard of that before. Yes, there are quite a few things that I have heard or written down before, when it comes to centaurs or sirens, and harpies, but chimeras, that's not something that I have read about before. Do you mind if I ask you some questions so I can take care of you? Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. All right then. Well, if that's the case, let's go ahead and see what's wrong with you then. Okay, well, the first thing I want to do here is I'm going to simply, touch you in different places. I want to see if you are tender in any of these places. I've come to find, particularly with my centaur friend, if they are tender in places, it means that either their muscles are, they've been overworked, or there's like some underlying issue. Now, of course, that overworkedness can be because I have put them to work a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. So let's go ahead and get started here. So I'm going to start with the lion part of you, because I think separating you into three separate spots, I think that would be good. Is that right? Okay, perfect. And I must ask, are you all one entity, or are you, do you have a shared consciousness, or is each one of you separate? And I should address, okay, it's a shared entity, but only for you. It depends on the chimera. Okay, wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. Okay, well, I'll start with the lion part of you. So, just tell me if it hurts or if it's tender. Okay. How's that? Okay. 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 Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Good. Okay, let's try the sheep part, and I'm so sorry, the goat part. No tenderness so far? Perfect. Let's finish up with the snake or serpent part. Okay. Wonderful. Very good. 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 Wonderful. You're very firm, I will say. Very, very fascinating. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Since you display no tenderness, you must mean you're pretty underworked. So I shall offer you some guidance, offer you a place to stay here, but you will have to work the farm a little bit for me. Yes, it is part of, you'll have free lodging, free, food, whatever I can find, whatever I can sort of gather, and whatever I can, afford, really. But you and the other creatures will help me with the farm. That way we can all survive together. Yes? Okay, wonderful. So, what I'm going to do then, because you do seem a bit ghastly, just in terms of your looks, so, please, no offence, I will be very, very honest. It doesn't scare me so much to offend you anymore, offend your kind anymore. It's mainly because I don't mean to offend, and therefore it shouldn't really be offensive, now should it? So I'm just going to, I can't really focus when I have all 6 eyes on me, so I'm going to take these, I call them hair clips. I fashioned them myself. It's with the help of some of my friends, but I'm just going to clip away your other heads so that I just have to look at them. You guys can look away, right? It's a bit uncomfortable for you. Well, we all have to be a bit uncomfortable when we're first acquainting ourselves with different species. Okay, so go ahead here and just, yes, so I'm clipping away your goat part. Perfect. And then let me clip away your serpent part, yes? Okay, your serpent part right here. Right there. Ooh, it's difficult there. Does it hurt? No. Oh, wonderful, great. So what I'm going to do now is for the lion part, I am going to go ahead and give you a quick brush. I think the mane, your mane is particularly shoddy, I will be honest. I wonder if you lost the instinct, because I'm very familiar with felines, so a lot of felines tend to lick themselves, groom themselves in some capacity. I imagine you maybe have lost that instinct. Well, I mean, once you gain consciousness and once you're really aware, you start to, learn things like depression and, existentialism and whatnot. And hygiene tends to take a little bit of a back, but, it takes a step back. It's very difficult. Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to help you here. Okay, so I'm going to start on this side here, and I'm going to make my way around. And this might be difficult. This might hurt a little because I'm going to be working through some tangles, some knots that I can already tell. But if there are any mats, do you know what a mat is? Oh, I'm so sorry. If you don't know what that is, then it's going to be a bit difficult. But if there is a mat, if it's too compacted, I'm going to have to cut it. But we'll get to that in a second, okay? Okay, so let's start. Wonderful, yeah, wonderful. Okay, very, very good. Okay, and then just working my way through here. So this friend of yours that told you to come here, what are they like? A lover? Interesting. I didn't know chimeras had lovers. I didn't know you existed, but just from the way you look, I didn't really expect lovers. I more expected sort of one-night stands, if that makes sense. I understand. It's not very common, but it is possible. Interesting. Okay, just over here, just trying to work my way through, and okay, wonderful. Okay, so now that we've done that, I'm going to just cut away. I did notice a few mats, so I have a bunch of tools here. Like I said, I'm very thorough with my my business, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these. These are called scissors. I'm just going to snip away just small parts of the mats that you have. you only have a few, okay? So it's really not going to be a problem. So I'm just going to grab it, pull, and then snip, okay? So I'm just going to stay still for me. I'm going to grab, pull, and snip. Okay, perfect. Grab here, pull, and snip. Okay. Grab, pull, and snip. Okay. Grab, pull, and wonderful. Grab, pull, and snip. Grab, pull, and snip. Okay, wonderful. I will be keeping some of the fur. I find that mystical fur, when it comes from, you know, mythical or mystical creatures, they tend to be a bit softer than normal. So I could spin it into some yarn. It'll be very, very good. And you know, you can of course use the yarn. It's open to everybody who stays here. So if you you know, fancy yourself a knitter, crocheter even, then absolutely you can go for it. Okay. So next, let us unleash the snake part and put away the lion part. Yes, I'm going to just grab and undo this clip. Perfect. Okay, so now the snake part. Oh, I do not like seeing the multiple eyes here. No, no, no. Let's now clip away the lion part, the part that we've just worked on. Okay, and just. Okay, perfect, perfect. Ooh, okay, your breath is very warm, I will say. It's a bit unnerving. It's a bit unnerving. Okay, well, with the snake part, I'm going to use some of this serum that I have concocted. You know, I'm quite an alchemist. I'll have you know. I've done many different experiments, but for this in particular, what I've come to determine is that if you use emotions within as core ingredients within an alchemical formula, you're able to create some very stunning skincare and scale care, right, and fur care and that sort of stuff. So this is in particular for scale care. I mainly made it for the harpy because surprisingly harpies do have some scales. They have feathers and scales. So this is for the scale part. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a few drops on you, rub it in, and then I'm going to do that a few times, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead here and just okay, then I'm just going to rub it in, yes, and so I'm going to rub it in with these there we go. Yes, I'm not using my fingers because I've come to learn that there tends to be a bit of you know, there could be allergies of some kind. There could be some reactions that we don't want. So I'm just being very careful here. But I imagine that these sticks that I have fashioned have the roughness is particularly helpful in getting rid of some of that dirt and grime, as well as really working in some of the serum that I've put on. Okay, so just here. Here. And here. And here. Just being very thorough. I hope you do not mind. Put a bit more because I've noticed it's getting a bit dry now, so let's a bit more. Here. There. There. Okay, and then just a bit more here. So I have a question. Since I have been writing my findings in terms of in terms of the mythical creatures that I've been encountering, and I do have a question about you, a chimera. Do you come out the womb with all 3 heads, or do you grow each one? Interesting. And do you think that it has any sort of effect on your child's physiology and psychology? To share, to have your brain be in different spots in your body. There's 3 cultures. So you're saying there's the culture of chimeras that were raised by lions, the culture of chimera that's been raised by goats, and the culture of chimera that's been raised by snakes, and they all have their own clans. It's fascinating, very fascinating. Okay, I think that's good. I think that's pretty good. I don't want to overdo it here because I really don't want to, rub you raw, let's say. So, next I am going to put the snake head aside. I'm going to work on the goat, okay? So, let us simply undo the goat and use the same one to... Perfect. Alrighty, so now we've got the goat. And what I'm going to do with the goat, because you seem pretty clean in terms of this goat part, but I do think that color-wise you seem a bit you're very pale. So I've got some pigments here. It's very safe. These pigments that I have created, I'm very talented, but I've created many pigments here. And what I'm going to do is use these pigments to just, give you a fresher look. And who's to say, maybe this lover of yours, they might see this, they might see you be less pale and they might stay, So, let us do that. So, let me grab, here, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to grab, I'm going to mix some of the here. Yes, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix a bit of this orange and a bit of this pink right here. And it's going to create a lovely colour. And then I'm just going to wipe it right on you. And then I'm going to grab some of this blue. Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you not see colour? It's a bit different. You see colour and very different. Okay. Well, what I see is blue, and I'm going to mix it with a little bit of white, so it's going to be a bit lighter. I'm going to put it on your horns. There we go. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of lubrication here. And I'm just going to wipe and just spread it around. There we go. And I'm just going to wonderful. Okay, so let me remove this and remove this. And now you should be a little bit more refreshed. Yes, Yes, absolutely. Wonderful. Well, listen, this room isn't really taken by anyone. You are going to be, you know, sharing this house with a lot of people, a lot of different creatures. So you need to be a bit open-minded, okay? Okay, so you can stay here as long as you want. You have to simply wake up very early. I'll give you instructions on what you need to do, and then dinner will be served at sunset. Yes, I will be providing food, but that really depends on how productive you are within the farm. Okay. Okay then, well, if that's it, then I'll let you relax, and I'll let you sit tight. If you need anything, there is a watering hole not too far away. I can show you to it, and if you want to, for drinking or something like that. But otherwise, that's basically it. All right? Okay, well, I shall leave you to it, and I hope you have a wonderful night, and I'll see you in the morning, okay? Okay then.